This is Lockie Hume, and you're listening to The Crowject.
Walker needs to kick accurately, and he has. Oh, what a lifter for the
excitement machine, McLeod. Left foot goal.
Oh, don't tell me.
He's a superstar.
Don't tell me. Oh!
Bounces straight up, leaves a path the ball.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the latest episode of the Crowject podcast, episode 142 coming to you right now. We've got a bit of a draft review that we'll be doing tonight. Now, it may only be myself, and that's Peter here, going through all things in regard to the draft, but I'll also be calling Damon very, very soon as well. But first off, just a thanks to our sponsors in Pay Medicine and Trojan Aluminium. We usually do our hellos around the table, but it's just myself. Real quick, just some Patreon shout-outs. Giving some shout-outs to the Crowject crowdfunders as well, and that's $10 a month. Big thanks to Ben Piro, Brad M, Drew Corner, James Payne, Jeremy Withers, KJ Scooby, aka Sam Curtis, Lockie Dan, Michael Bornholm, Ray, and Shaheen Marty, and he is good. Now, real quick, if you head over to our socials as well, Facebook, Insta, YouTube, TikTok as well. If you follow us on YouTube as well, we've got some new stuff coming up there on at Crowject. We'll be doing some stuff on our Patreon as well, which will be our recall of the 97 Grand Final. We've been able to edit that one down, and we'll be recording that one very soon. Also, some Obscure Crow, Get Your Cron and Draft Spotlight as well, but there is no more Draft Spotlight because that's already happened. So head over as well to our Crom merch store, crowject.bigcartel.com. Get yourself a Crom beanie and all sorts of other Crom related stuff, and get that special port hating fan in your family, the Garden Stakes Guernsey as well. We've got a few of them left over just in time for Christmas, so if you head over to crowject.bigcartel.com, you can get yourself one there. Now, coming up on our Patreon format, we will be having our AFL women's interviews coming up soon, and also we have our interview with the Crows CEO Tim Silvers, which will be happening Tuesday afternoon. We're recording on a Monday night at the moment, but that'll be happening. Myself, Elodie and Ben will be heading down to the club tomorrow to do that interview, and we're looking very much forward to that one, and we thank the Crows for giving us that opportunity as well. So if you head to head over to our friends over at the Pressbox podcast. They're doing their fun run as well. I won't say the fun run because there's a full bloody marathon on Christmas Eve in Sport of Cancer Research as well. Head over there too. Now, real quick, I'm just going to give a call to Damon, and we're just going to go through everything in regards to the draft. So, of course, Crows, we had our draft that happened last Wednesday and Thursday, and we can go through all things in regards to the draft itself. I'm just going to give a quick call to Damon right now, and hope he picks up. So we wait and see.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. We're recording right now.
Are we?
Yeah. Hey, Damon, thanks for joining us, mate. I just wanted to talk real quick in regards to the draft. I haven't really done a run-through as of yet, but what were your thoughts on draft night itself and our live broadcast that we had?
Oh, look, the live broadcast was a bit of fun. Considering all the changes we had to make with COVID and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You know, National Let's Open Up All the Borders Day, which got us a little bit spooked, which I think we're entitled to. So it rapidly went from, you know, Arkabar and meet and greet to the four of us and some pizza. And I still owe you for the pizza, by the way, mate. I hope that's okay.
It's all good.
Oh, good. We'll sort that out off air anyway, eh? But no, it was a good draft night. It sort of went to plan pretty much to the top 10. If you go back over Cal Toomey's expected draft, that's pretty much how he expected it to go. And Josh Riccelli, like it's been talked about for maybe 2 weeks now that he was the Crows' number one target for the pick 6 spot he turned out to be. So
Correct.
Actual first night of the draft went pretty much to script until the teens, and then the whole thing just went haywire with pick swaps and Port Adelaide jumping 2 spots ahead, and, you know, Lee Kalia getting picked up out of nowhere. And, yeah, that's when it got really excited up in the teens when the Crows weren't involved.
Yeah, so we'll break down some of these picks that we got, but and then afterwards we asked for some feedback on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter as well, which we'll get to in a second. So first off, Josh Richelli or Racheli, however you'd say it. How would Skip say it, Damon?
Well, I looked at it the first time and went Rachel, but that can't be right. So it's it's apparently Richelli. He's a very. Why are you of all people asking me how to say that name?
I just want to hear Dwayne Russell stuff it up.
Oh, mate! I mean, it's going to be constant.
Ruchelli.
I mean, BT. BT is going to give it the big Orazio treatment too, which is going to be painful to hear. We might not have to wait long to hear it either, because this guy looks like he's primed to play next season. He's, the cliche of could play round one could apply to this kid. He's full of confidence and he's ready to go. There's been a bit made about his soccer background, because he was at Melbourne City in the youth academy earlier on, and that means that he's got sort of elite pathways and elite sporting pedigree from a very early age. So this guy's going to be an elite trainer. He's going to be a hard-working young man. He's from country Victoria. He's already said in his first presser that, he's come straight from boarding school to home to Adelaide. So
correct. Yep.
There's very little go-home factor going on. This kid's been ready to move away from home for a long time. I'm excited by him, honestly. I think he looks like a good prospect. And they keep Toby Green comparison has been happening so much that he's already sick of it. You can tell in interviews people are going, and the Toby Green comparison, mate. And he goes, no, I don't want to compare myself to him. But
because he's going to get suspended every season. So
that's it.
Jeez.
First time he raises a boot a little bit too high, there's going to be a red card joke and a green joke made.
Oh, God. So he was taken at pick 6, and then next up we had Jake Soligo, or Soligo, as the...
It'll be pronounced Soligo, as you say, by all the skips. It'll be Soligo, but of course he's Soligo. Correct. This one has come out of nowhere, and it's really funny because it's... I think I've used the term on the podcast to a Hamish special, just a Hamish Ogilvy absolute curveball. Like, who the hell is this kid? And he goes... He's amazing. He's this, he's that. And everyone goes, all right, we'll take your word for it, mate. Well, you're the expert.
I'm not sure if we have it at the front of the Crows. You have to be this high to play for the Crows, because each of these drafts have been 187. Each of these draft picks are 180 centimetres on the dot. Yeah, I'm just looking at the Crows website now. Including
Zach Taylor, the third pickup that we made. So Hamish has a type, clearly. Short brunettes. Seems to be the way he wants to go. But I think it makes a lot of sense when you look at the long-term listings. I still think we need to get another ruckman, but obviously the Crows think that we've got enough tools to cover it until maybe next year's draft.
Yeah.
But I think it's an emerging need. Rowe, he's not old, but he's 21? We drafted him as a 21, 22-year-old, I think it was.
Something like that. He's 21, but he's watched Step Brothers about 150 times, so that's good.
Which, as we all know, ages you beyond your years. It's like smoking and stress. It just ages you. Then you've got Murphy, who could be possibly pushed out if someone better come along. And then it's Newchurch in terms of the full small forward stock. So, really looking at it, it's kind of they've clearly seen that as a bigger need. And someone made a good point too recently, and it's something I read, that Melbourne and the Bulldogs midfields are elite, but they're not incredibly tall. I think the league might be bucking this trend of tall, athletic midfielders a little bit, going for ball using and ball winning ability over height in the midfield. And if that's the case, then Ogilvy's absolutely buying into that.
Yeah, and as a part of my expert analysis, I can say that ball winning and ball getting is a good thing.
I can't see it hurting anyone's career. I think your ability to handle a football in the sport of Australian rules football, that's what kept me from the big time.
Because you use your hands,
Yeah, see, that's what I was getting on the whole time. Every time I played, I tried to use my face and I got nowhere.
Yeah.
But Josh Richelli, coming from a soccer background, I was just watching his presser before, and someone... you hear reporters ask questions sometimes, and you think, what are you hoping to get out of that question? And one of them was any transferable skills.
Oh no!
And part of me went, of course there probably isn't. And then his answer was brilliant. He goes, well, yeah, actually the way you curve the ball and the way you line your foot and your leg up when you're trying to curl the ball in soccer, it's actually really similar to the skill in snapping and kicking around your body. And I just went, do you know what? This kid took a really stupid question and made it incredibly insightful. Whoever that reporter was just got an absolute gift from him.
He clearly hasn't had his media training down at the Crows yet.
There wasn't enough yeah and ahs coming out of him either. There's been the new one, Pete, and you got to pay attention to the interviews. The new one is just want to earn the respect of everyone at the club. I've heard that from every bloody draftee that I've heard interviewed. It's the new one game at a time, or it's the new just want to get out there.
Yeah,
it's every draftee I've heard.
I've also heard, they've really taken me under my wing. Like, but it's like, what? So you're going to turn up there and what? They're going to, douse you in water, then drop a bag of flour on your head? Like, what's going to what do you think's going to happen? Like, gee.
There was a great clickbait heading on the Crows website today when I was doing a bit of research, and it says, "Experienced Crow takes Richelli under his wing," and I went, "Yeah,
where's that
they
one?
all do, of course." Yeah. And it's, by the way, what the article was referring to is that he's moving in with. Oh, no, it was Jake Saligo, I'm sorry. He's moving in with Rob.
Yeah,
so it's a simple... So what that headline could have read was, teammates move in together.
Yeah.
I
want to read the quote from this. So it's in the third line. So first line, Adelaide's latest draftee, Jake Saligo, has had a hectic few days and then came down. Third paragraph, I am living with Riley O'Brien, Saligo said.
There you go. And that was the heading.
Wow.
Like that was news enough to put it as a header.
Yeah.
He's a good one, actually, because reading through his stats and his last couple of games, 37 touches in his last game as an under-18, 22 of those were contested. So this kid sounds like a bit of a bull at the footy.
Yeah,
and
he's in the guts.
He's in the guts. He loves being in the, and that's good. He looks like he could be, not to put the world of pressure on him, but he could be a bit of a laird sort of mould of player. The real interesting one, have you had a look at the haircut on this rookie that we've picked up, Nankervis?
Oh, here we go. Now, I'm just going to get him up real quick. That is a ratty. That is a ratty. Oh, my God. He has bought the Canary Yellow BT1 from Billy Frampton, I reckon. Look at that.
Now, big question, important question. Do you reckon Frampton gave him mates rates, or did he get like full?
No, it would have been full rates. He would have been full rates, mate. He would have been like, I could get more at auction, but I can do mates rates, and then it's not mates rates.
I love that line. No, mate, I could do better, but I'm going to look after you.
No. Luke Nankervis is a man mountain compared to the other draftees at 189 centimetres, not including his hair. So that's... And then, the other thing too, all of our draftees this year. So the other one as well is Zach Taylor, pick 44, 180 centimetres, 74 kilos from the footy factory Calder Cannons. But they're all from Victoria. And I'm sure that pissed off a lot of Beryl's and Cecils too.
Oh, I promise you it would have. But it's kind of funny because these last 2 COVID years, I've expected just a massive, massive rise in Western Australian and South Australian talent. And both states have done really well. Like SA's actually had a very good draft crop this year. But I'm wrong every time because the Victorian, school system and then the Victorian, the TAC model just churns out elite footballers even when they can't play much footy. So they still just have the advantage over the rest of the states in terms of not just population, but their infrastructure, and that's not knocking the SANFL or the Waffle at all.
Yeah, true.
They just seem to churn out from younger and then to higher quality and more of them. It just they tend to have far less misses in terms of draftees in Victoria. So and most of them, I think, I could be wrong on. In fact, I think I am wrong on Zach Taylor. I think they're all Vic Country boys.
Yeah, except for. I think Nankervis, it says that he won at Ormond in the Victorian Amateur Football Association. I'm going to quickly Google that one. But he played at the Bentley Football Club, but I'm pretty sure that's a suburb of Melbourne.
Well, while you're doing that, there's been a bit talked about him as well. Apparently, early on it was talked about how he was a possible wingman, and then Hamish has come out and said, no, he's a true midfielder. He's another in and under midfielder. So even in the rookie draft, we've absolutely tried to assure the long-term strength and ball-winning ability of the midfield. Because even Richelli, there's talk that if Richelli does turn out to be the Toby Green type, he'll end up playing further up the ground at some stage. He's not He's not small forward. Don't read small forward and think Eddie Betts. You really got to think, high half forward is the aim for this guy long term.
Now, I've just brought up this random website to Google Luke Nankervis because, I'm sure that's all Hamish did to find these guys. He just Googled them. No. So there's this website called central.rookieme.com where they talk about some of the strengths and improvements. Now, I just want to go through the strengths. Strengths: agility, clean hands,
Tick.
Work rate,
Tick.
upside.
What?
One of his strengths is upside.
His strength is his upside?
Yes, that's, mate, I'm just reading what it says. Strengths, upside. And then improvements, the improvement, this is one of them, exposure.
What does that mean?
I don't know. He's left out in the sun, apparently. And then the other one's production. Like he's not good on a mass production line. He's not good at assembling parts. I don't know.
What they're saying is he had a podcast a little while ago, but it constantly ran over time, and he didn't know how to advertise it properly, and the whole thing fell apart.
Yeah, that sounds like us. So
yeah, let's keep the meetings off there in this regard. Nankervis is a funny one because I've heard similar sort of things that apparently he's a very handy footballer, just playing in because he came out of the amateur league, so he might be one of these sort of. I've got to do my homework on him. I don't know heaps about him, but the brief bit that I have read is that he's just, because he hasn't played for Calder or Bush Rangers or those sort of TAC teams.
Yeah, definitely.
He might have just been overlooked. But Hamish Ogilvie, this is a Hamish Ogilvie special, if ever there was one, because he loves that. He doesn't care where you've played, who you've played for. He just wants to know that you can play footy and have a good family, and you're under 190 centimetres and brunette, apparently.
And you know how to make a sauce as well. Shout out to Rochelle as well.
Did you read all that about his? Yes.
God, it made me hungry.
One day he makes the sauce, the next day they make the salami, and the whole time I'm thinking of Pete.
Yeah, well, I was drooling. But I just want to go through some of the reactions that we had. Now, Damon, I'm going to bounce some of these off of you. We've got Trev Paul 20 over on Instagram. He says, all 180 centimetres looks promising. And Jay Woe, who says, 3 of the same type of play, small midfielders, forwards. Thank you. And Jackson Rose Wall II says, very good.
Yes.
Yeah.
All of those are correct statements. I don't know that we should be worried about them all being the same mould of player. Like, I think I do it. You look at the draft and you think, all right, what do I want? Like, if this was FIFA, what would I go out and buy? I want a gun midfielder, and I want a tall forward, and I want to. That's not how the club looks at it.
Yeah.
And for all we know is that, when Saligo was picked up, there might have been 3 or 4 other lads that we would have taken ahead of him, but they all got picked up. And they might have been fast halfbacks or tall defenders or whatever around the mark that we just couldn't get to. So look at it more as the club have just valued these guys at the best player that was there in the draft, and take solace in the fact that every one of them can play footy. Richelli's the guy we wanted.
Damon, that's usually a good thing, isn't it, though, mate? If they can play footy.
Mate?
That they can play footy.
Yet again, ball winning and clean hands. Things that you need to know and have if you're going to play football. Yeah.
Now, speaking of clean hands, we've got Pepe Laporg, who says, more speed in this than a dealer's bum bag. Okay.
Yeah,
we'll go with it.
I thought I misheard that for a second. I was going to ask you to repeat it, and I went, no, better not.
No, he definitely did. He definitely did say more speed than a dealer's bum bag.
Well, there you go. I wouldn't have a clue. I don't know. Richelli's quick. I'm not sure about the other blokes, if that's been what's been written up about them, that they're necessarily fast. They are, like I keep saying, just real good ball winners and users, which Hamish loves. So we probably, I think there's a wisdom amongst Crows fans that we still need a bit more outside pace. But Jordan Dawson, who we've picked up, is not slow. Seedsman, who's been on the list for a while, is not slow. Newchurch is very quick. So there is a bit of pace around on the list at the moment. We're just not quite seeing it all on the park at the same time. And Jordan Dawson, look, that's the other bit that people need to remember. You might look at these 4 blokes we brought in and gone, oh, they're all about the same. But we also picked up a very tall wingman halfback in the trade period. So I think we've done really well this off-season. We've picked up some talent. We've probably identified some needs. We've finally gone to the trade pool, which we haven't historically done much of. So I think we're doing okay.
Yeah. Better than most off seasons, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Oh, mate, isn't it nice? Just that I shouldn't even say this. I'm going to say it anyway, though. Just mark down the date and the time, maybe. Isn't it nice to be controversy free in November?
Did you hear about the anti-vaxxer board member? We'll get to that later.
Oh, I spoke too soon, Pete. Oh no!
Ah, God. Now,
are you going to run for the spot? Are you going to run for it?
I might as well if it's vacated. I'm double
Why
vax,
not?
so why not? We've got Aidan Gain who says home and away or neighbours.
Neither.
I'd go for neighbours, I reckon.
You just love the shots of the hydrangeas and the potted colour on those nice manicured lawns, don't you? That's it.
Yeah.
Actually, I would too, because every time they show home and away, they pan over those sand dunes, and I think, sand's a pain in the arse.
It gives me flashbacks to where the Crows are at West Lakes, and if I wanted sand, I'd just bloody go there. And if we go over to Twitter as well, real quick, some of the feedback there. We've got Sophie Damon, a friend of the pod and Patreon as well, who says, in Hamish we trust, and does the amen emoji. Everyone else losing their mind saying, where are the South Aussie boys? I'm never huge in knowing anything about the draft or join the club, but in the words of all draftees ever, can't wait to get stuck in and earn our respect. Oh, and always go Crom.
So there's something I love about the draft, which is that, there's people like, myself and Cream who take a genuine interest in it throughout the year. And then there are the people that become armchair experts about 2 weeks out. Yeah. And then there's a third category, which is my favourite. They become armchair experts 2 days after the draft.
Correct. Yeah, I'm the 2 days after. It's the best.
Yeah. Oh, but some of them, Pete, like you're the best kind. You go, okay, let's do my research and find out who these young lads are. Then there are others that don't get further than state of origin. They just, no, he's not South Australian. He can't play footy. He's going to leave us one day.
Yeah.
They're going to want to go home one day. Like, calm down, guys. And if they do want to go home, that's fine. That's why we've got the trade period. Like, it's fine. It'll be okay. Straight. Calm down.
Yeah.
We're Crows fans. We've dealt with a lot worse than a player wanting to go back to their home state, for God's sake.
Yeah, damn straight. Frampton apologist at Cromrade Cluzzy says, hiding is as much of an issue as people are claiming. We have plenty. What we desperately needed was speed and ball movement, and that's what we've got. Yeah.
That's completely correct. Exactly right.
Oh, God. So, I guess the other thing that we need to touch on as well is in regards to one of the board members who apparently hasn't got their COVID vaccination, but things are still evolving there. So all we're going to say is watch this space in regards to that. And of course, Damon with the thunderclap sound effect purely for saying we're controversy free in November. And only 2 bloody days left, and you screwed us, Damon. Anyway,
we always find a way, don't we? And it's always going to be someone high up at the club that's just going to be doing something. Yeah. But I won't say any more than that because my own personal opinion is that you should go and get vaccinated. It is a very good idea. But I'm not going to say any more about this individual. I don't even know who this bloke is. I just kept reading the name on Twitter and everyone going, oh, here we go. Oh, why is this popping up on my Twitter feed? It must be Crows related.
Yeah, I mean, look, it goes back to the what we've said about Denny Van Hagen as well. Pretty much any other player or person, freedom of choice, freedom of consequence. That's all it is. So
that's exactly right. Yep, yeah, you can have your views. That's absolutely fine, but stuff's going to happen. And, hopefully this is just one of those things that goes away pretty quickly because Lord knows we don't want any more backroom dramas than we've had over the last few years.
So the other thing too, we've got our interview tomorrow with Tim Silvers to Damon. Yes. Now, unfortunately, you've got work commitments, but what questions do you have for Timmy S?
What would I like to ask him? I'd love to... I would love to know about Brompton. I'd love to know what's going on there. Are we any closer? Is this just a... we keep reading the tea leaves and everything and going, well, this looks like it's going to happen. And I'm sure he's going to give you a political answer, and that's fine, but I'd love to know if that's coming along. I'd also love to get you to ask him, insert really funny and witty question here, and see if he bites at that. Yeah. I'd also, do you know what? It'd actually be really interesting to just know his point of view on managing the team during COVID.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I know we had the documentary come out earlier this year, and that's on Amazon, but just to hear it from the horse's mouth, like what he personally has had to change, because he was at Hawthorn before he was here.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
So he's run two of the biggest clubs in the country under very, very different circumstances, you know, in terms of the Crows being where we are on the ladder, Hawthorn being a dynasty. He ruled Hawthorn during peacetime, and now he's running the Crows under plague time. So that would be really interesting.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I also said ruled Hawthorn, like I'm turning him into a Game of Thrones character.
So is it weird that the Crows were set up during Operation Desert Storm? Is that what you're saying? Or
coincidence?
Yeah.
Don't give the conspiracy theorists any more ammo.
Yeah, sending the boys off to the Gulf with 20 sheds. There's a shout out to Martin Malloy. So, look, Damon, I don't know if you've got anything else to say, mate, but we may. Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try to call Cream after this and try to abuse him. So.
Do it, and just ask him a whole bunch of draft questions and see if his views differ from mine, because you know he'll probably have something against. Ask him. Just say to him, Damon wants to know if you've got a problem with the fact that we've only picked 180 centimetre brunettes. I'm just.
All right.
I know. I'll listen intently tomorrow morning to listen to him rage about how they're all the same size and they're the same bloke. We'll see.
Yeah, I better write that down. Ice cream, 180 centimetre brunettes. That'll confuse him. All right, cool. All right, Damon, love your work, mate. I'll talk to you soon, okay?
Good on you, Pete. Take care and then enjoy the interview with Tim Silvers tomorrow, mate.
Will do, buddy. Talk soon. Ciao. Bye.
Good week. Bye.
That was, of course, Damon on the pod. But what I'm going to do very quickly, I'm just going to give a quick call to Cream. I highly doubt that he's available, but if he is, it's always an odyssey talking to Cream. So here we go.
You've called Anthony. Unfortunately, I can't get to the phone at the minute. Leave your name and number. I'll get back to you.
Hi, Cream. Peter here. Just wondering, Damon wanted to know what your thoughts were on the Crows only picking 180 centimetre brunettes. Anyway, I'll hang up and listen. Love you. Bye. Anyway, that was as far as we're going to get with Cream, and probably as far as we're going to get for the pod tonight. Bit of a different one, ladies and gentlemen, but keeping it short and sweet this week. Coming up in the next couple of weeks, we'll be doing our end-of-year wrap-up as well, where we go through some of our blooper reel stuff as well. But keep your ears peeled or your ears open or whatever the saying is. Over on our Patreon as well, just to see our upcoming interview with Tim Silvers. Anyway, my name's Peter. Thanks to our sponsors and payment of Sam Trojan Aluminium, and follow us on our socials, Facebook, Insta, YouTube, TikTok, and I think that's it. Twitter as well, that's the project. And my name's Peter. Go Cream.